Welcome back, guys. 73 here. I'll tell you what we got going on for today. Alright, so I picked up this hydraulic pump, and it was leaking pretty bad, so a lot of people say just throw it away, but it's not me. I'm not going to do that. All about fixing and trying to fix whatever it is available. Yep. So I'll show you what I got going on, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's my pump, and a little rusty. So I pulled her apart, and this was leaking, and so the top was leaking in here. So now if I can get this apart for you. I've already put it together and worked it, so now I got trying to get it apart so I can show you what's going on. I knew it would work, but alright. Alright, so on my trying to look at my monitor screen and show you what's going on, so let me bring the camera over here so you can see it. Alright, so basic deal here is you got your piston here and your plunger, then there's an O-ring that goes in here, and it's down in my cylinder. Pull right off. So anyways, you just go to a rubber place that makes, here is a rubber company, supply company, and this is the part number of the O-rings that go around here, and they look just like this. There's a somewhere or other here, there's a number on exactly what the number is, but I had here's the part number 21-51548. Had to buy a whole pack of those. It was gosh, I don't know what I paid for them. $2. Two for two for 75 cents a piece, or a package for $2. So I bought one of those. Then you can just slide it on there. And then you got your piston again. I polished this all up with 2000 grit just because I wanted to make it nice and smooth. There's still some spots that I can do here that kind of look dirty, but for the most part it's very smooth. Okay. Again, with these ones here, right here, this part here, it comes right out. Of course it probably won't come out now because I screwed it in there and I didn't screw it in there tight, but there it goes. Most of these jacks available, they're all made in China. They're all O-rings. Most of these O-rings I got at the auto parts store. But if I was to do it over again, I would probably just go to a rubber place. Again, you just pull this. Best way to get this one out is push it from the bottom, pull it out. there's two O-rings right here, one on top, one on the bottom, and they're just regular O-rings you get at the hardware store or the auto parts store. And you just lube them up, and she'll work. That's the deal with that one. And there's one more O-ring between these two cases here. Sorry, I'm not sure where my camera's is. Anyways, there's pouring oil everywhere. There's another O-ring right between these two cases here. There we go. Another O-ring between the two cases. And I bought a pack. This one, the one that cost me the most. There's the, if you can see the numbers right there. You can buy it back. This is the one that cost me the most. And these were $5, pack of 10, but I only need one. But I have 10 now, so I can rebuild more of them. It's messy. It's nothing that can't be cleaned off. I just went to my, this one's CarQuest, this one's CarQuest hydraulic oil. You can use whatever you want. The size of the O-rings were that big around, just real small ones. Just barely fit over your finger, into your finger here. That's the ones that were inside of this unit here. I ended up going and getting too big of ones. So it's good to bring your own stuff with you. You can just screw together. Tighten her down. Got an O-ring down in there I got to dig out because it came off the thing. Get that one out of there. Alright, that one's out. And what you needed, you also have this collar. This collar that goes down around, comes down, it feeds a little bit of oil out of this tube down on the other back side of the and I found two more O-rings, real skinny ones. One will go on this side. They have to be really skinny. And when you put this collar down, it has a hole in it. There's a hole down through the tube and it comes out right here. Shove that in there. Put that down, you need that little skinny O-ring so when you tighten the nut down. Okay? So now we're going to put our piston back in with our O-rings. It's good to have some lubrication on it. Alright, and then because it's holding a nice pressure here, gotta take and open up my valve at the other end. There it goes. Alright, so we got her all tightened. Now we release our valve. Alright, so now we got to put another O-ring, skinny O-ring on this end of it. Alright. Okay, so we got that done. Now we got to put a nut on. There's no O-ring on the inside. I don't believe so. Maybe there is. It looked like there was an O-ring in there, but it's not. Okay. So you just have these O-ring here in the end, and you can use this one, that big thick one, but I just found a skinny one. Again, you just match it up at the auto parts store. So you put a little bit of lube in here, You work it down on there. You don't think it's going to go, but it does. There it goes. Alright. So then you just tighten it up. And there's a torque for it, I'm sure. But I'm just showing you this all for demonstration. So anybody out there that's got one of these jacks either leaking or a problem with it, swing this camera around down here so you can see what's going on. So I got my valve shut on the end down here, and got my fluid in here, got that nut tight, and then before you know it, you can see my shaft coming out. You got to work the air out of it, of course, like anything, but before you know it, here it goes. And it's held, and it's, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you tighten your nut up here. It's a 12mm, and that'll snug against this tube, and then you can clean all your oil off the outside of it. I put a new this one here, I put a new gasket behind it. Underneath this nut here where you fill it at, I put a new gasket underneath that one. Again, just an O-ring. There we go. That camera there. Another O-ring. And you just fill it up. And she'll start pumping. So I got oil all over it. So what we'll be doing next is prepping it for paint and reinstalling it. So a total of maximum amount of dollars here. I had $12 worth of O-rings into it, which I didn't need all to use all the O-rings. So if you go to a hydraulics place, that's where I recommend you go to get these O-rings at. You can take each one of the O-rings in, each one of the O-rings into the establishment, and they can line them, and they'll match them up for you. The guy was very nice. I would stay away from the auto parts store or the hardware, because mainly because they don't seem to have, they have half of them, but they don't have them all. So you'll end up running to the hydraulics place again anyways. So for $12, I was able to stop the leak and get it working again. And then this hydraulic jack for transmissions is $200, and you just release the pressure, and she goes back in. Just tighten it back up. When I had this retainer out the back, there was no O-ring inside here. There's a pin you can take out. I never took that out. I just unscrewed it. You unscrew this, take this nut loose. It's 17mm, I believe. Actually, it's 18mm. This one is. And you unscrew this, and this will unscrew out of the housing. This housing, and then be careful. There's a check valve in there, a ball bearing, that can be lost real quick. So this is what we got going on, guys. And this unit's off a Harbor Freight transmission jack. They're all kind of similar. They're all a little different, all depending on the application. But they all do the same job, is to lift the item up. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. And get you back here in focus where I can see where you're at. Half my head, huh? Alright, we'll see you in the next video. I'll be uploading these sometime soon. Subscribe, like, dislike, comment. Um, but again,